We kicked off spring this week, which means it's time to get your lawn and garden ready for the warmer weather.
And as we mentioned before, make sure you have some beer handy?
I guess.
Here to get our yards and outdoor space back into tip-top shape is Matt Bean, editor-in-chief of Men's Health magazine. Matt, good morning.
Good morning to you.
This morning. I'm going to head over to the barbecue, as men do, right?
Okay.
I'm going to do the guy thing.
And normally I'm not doing the lawn, but why not for the sake of this segment?
Look
Beer?
at this palatial lawn we have here at the Today Show. It's so
like
spacious.
How perfect would that
In
be?
Manhattan,
this
that's
is, I was just about to say, this is our back patio.
So here's the tip. If you got those brown spots, there's two reasons. Number one, you have a dog, and you know what's happening there.
Enough.
Number two, there's some fungus in it. And beer, actually, some of the fermented sugars in beer, we're just going to pour a little bit. We don't want to get too wet. You'd probably use a couple of these if you had a brown spot. It's actually going to kill that fungus, and then it nourishes the lawn underneath.
Well, I'm glad you cleared that up, because in my head, I'm like, that's expensive to take beer and just put it all over your lawn.
Well,
so just for the brown spots, you just pour.
Take those old beers that are sitting in the fridge that you haven't had, and you want the guests to come over and just drink them down.
Up. Yeah, exactly.
Those are the ones you put on the lawn, not the good stuff.
And you have a few ideas to help plants this spring.
That's right. All this stuff is natural. 99% of what we're talking about today is natural. It's safe for pets. It's safe for kids. I love this tip. If you have milk that's spoiling, don't just go ahead and eat it or drink it, put it in your cereal.
That's what Keir said
That's
this
what
morning.
I do.
Yeah, exactly.
I risk it. I roll the dice. Our health editor knows that, Julie. You can take this and actually spray it on some of your plants in the yard. It helps with the fungus.
Really?
Yeah, the milk helps battle that fungus. They just don't like it.
You don't mix the milk with water or anything like that? Just plain
put it
old
right
milk?
in. I mean, if it's half and half, you might have to get it through one of these atomizers.
That's true. But milk, that's not bad.
Not bad. And then citrus is just a great way to battle aphids. So we had them in my yard last year. We went to the trouble of actually FedExing ladybugs into the backyard, which you can do. That's another organic way. But you should start with this. So the oils and the citrus peels actually battle aphids. And then you can actually use banana peels as well, and that's going to nourish your soil with phosphorus and potassium.
All right, well, come to my back patio with me.
Let's move on to the veranda, shall we?
Beautiful wicker furniture. In the winter, we all know it takes a beating, but you can't buy new furniture every single season. So.
Everybody takes these things. Well, you should take them out of the yard so they don't get all snowy and destroyed. But they put them in the darkest, dankest place in the basement. And what happens there? It's damp. They get mildew on them, especially wicker. There's a lot of nooks and crannies. The other problem is, guess where spiders like to hide? All up in here. So you don't want that first barbecue of the season to be the one where grandma's attacked by spiders.
Exactly.
So a couple of tips for that. Number one, if you have a power washer, give it a nice blast, or you can buy a special nozzle for your hose.
Right, easy enough.
And then with this, you just use an old toothbrush or a brush you've got maybe inside the house or something for the tires of your car. Mix a little bit of Murphy's and a little bit of hot water, and you're good to go.
Clean it right up.
Brush that guy right off.
I'll do this.
Shall I take this away? Matt, can we just have a bro moment here? Did you hear that Alexa now, in some parts of the U.S., you can order beer with Alexa?
Are you kidding me? Really?
God bless America.
I've ordered straws and toilet paper so far, but not beer.
Okay, tell us about this.
Everybody got to clean their gutter, and it's always a pain in the butt. But here's a really smart tip so that you don't have to just dredge through there with your hands. You cut one of these old Pennzoil or Valvoline bottles in half, this 45-degree angle, and you can go right in and scoop out some of that gunk.
Wow.
Not a bad way to repurpose an old tool.
You may have to get up high, because often these are high in
Get on a ladder,
house, right?
Be very safe, make sure somebody's holding a ladder on the bottom. And this is the most fun tip of all.
Okay.
Check this out. We're going to make it rain leaves here. So we got a nice cordless lawn blower here. If you've got a clog in the downspout, now hopefully it's not a squirrel stuck in there. If it's just leaves and brush, you can go right like this.
Terrific.
And it pops right out the top.
I'm just imagining a poor... That worked so well.
The beauty of it.
I was just imagining a squirrel.
Just like this, it comes right out the top.
Okay, let's head to the barbecue.
Yeah, we have a squirrel in there. I've heard that about the Today Show. It's infested. Just kidding, guys. All right, so this is a grill. A lot of times people take foil or they take a hard metal brush and they go after this grill surface.
We're talking about how to clean the grill.
The grate, and sometimes it gets gunky, especially if it's been left around. Now, what you want to be able to do here is use natural products so that when you do put that burger on, you're not have all those chemicals on there. So this is just white vinegar. Very simple. What you do is you get the grill piping hot, and then you take half of an onion. Now, this is a crazy trick. I didn't believe this when I saw it, so of course I had to Google it. And everything you read on the internet is true these days. So we actually fact-checked this one. You can rub that grate back and forth. The onion's going to take off some of that gunk.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's terrific, because I stand trying to clean these things, throwing dirt everywhere. So you just rescued me.
Yes, I have to interrupt your bromance because Dylan, don't eat that. Ew. Really?
What are you doing?
Dylan has to do the weather. Really? No, you don't do that.
You just bite into it like an apple, right? Yeah.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here. to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.